used to have enough Soviet mustachioed robots or sentient liquid waterways in my life. So thank God Atomic Heart has come along. Seriously though, Atomic Heart is a breath of fresh air. Set in an alternate future, in Atomic Heart's world, the Soviet Union created robots responsible for major aspects of life, such as agriculture, security, and housework. Robots, though, tend to go on the fritz every now and again. And you play a KGB agent sent to Facility 3826 during a massive robot control system malfunction, to quell the robots who have run riot across the mysterious scientific facility. Atomic Heart is weird, uncanny, disturbing, and God, it makes me curious about literally everything you're seeing right now. One of the most powerful things to pull people through a game is the search for answers. And with the amount of questions this Atomic Heart gameplay has got me asking, you can count me in. In 2020 and 2021, new gameplay was released that showed us a new mini-boss, new enemies, and new environments, and wouldn't you know it, it also gave us some new bits of information about Atomic Heart. So, here's 12 new things you need to know about Atomic Heart, comrade. '19's trailer showed us all manner of weird things, and wouldn't you know it, there's plenty more of them to be found in the exhibition complex that this gameplay demo takes place in. By the looks of it, this is where the scientists would show off their robot creations to potential buyers because, Lord, is it swish. Or it would be if it weren't for these new enemies, which are flying plant-like things that are killing people and, frankly, ruining the aesthetic of the lab. Attacking in groups, they're not too hard to take down, but definitely differ from the robots that the lab is supposedly focused on. Flying through the air isn't all these creatures are good at, as in the latest gameplay demo, if you look at this monstrosity, you can see that it looks like the plant creature has latched onto and decapitated this poor chap. Parasite is probably a better name for them than creature, in hindsight. They're not fussy either about who they sink their teeth or roots into, as they also infect these nerve-like monsters, which look like variants of Polius, who I think it's about time you met. Everyone, meet Polius. Polius is the first mini-boss we've seen in Atomic Heart, and boy, is it bizarre. Made up of bloody organic tendrils, the thing used to be kept in a vat down here in the exhibition centre below this rather gnarly model of a whale's internal organ system, but it's not like those plant enemies I mentioned before. Nope, this creature can talk. It can fight too, obviously, and the one thing I'd mention is that Polius's moveset does seem a little bit repetitive, but there could be a reason for that. It doesn't appear to change when the creature loses a certain amount of health, doing the same jumping attack a fair few times, but as this is footage from an early gameplay demo, that might change by the time Atomic Heart comes out. It's worth pointing out that I think this type of enemy is going to become more regular throughout the rest of the game, with this mini-boss fight potentially being the way to introduce you to a new foe. Although you're in the facility on your lonesome, in your ear is someone called Craz, who sounds like a handler of sorts. He tells you where to go, what to do, and gives you guidance about most things around you, like the robots and the general area you're in. Maybe Craz has some insider knowledge. A scientist working on the robots, perhaps? Craz likes educating you too, bless him.
Обратите внимание на экспонат с внутренностями кита. Тут представлены не только органы дыхания с пищеварением, но и...
Так, Craz, хорош.
I assume Craz will be guiding you around and making sure you stay on track with the whole stop the robots from turning the facility into a Jackson Pollock painting but with gore thing. Mind you, games have burned me before with trusting people who are supposed to help you, so I'm going to remain skeptical about whether Craz is really as affable as he seems. This parallel future Soviet Union hasn't just pioneered autonomous robots. It's also developed implants that bypass those pesky syringes or bandages to use this capsule to heal you up after a fight. Tendrils like these also recharge your weapons and are able to manipulate this clear liquid that we've already seen in other Atomic Heart footage. Whether it's a kind of fast travel path to other areas or an experiment gone wrong, I'm not sure, but you can clearly control it in some way. Why am I suddenly so thirsty? Basically, these hands of yours are some kind of scientific Swiss Army knife, as you can also freeze and levitate enemies with them. Plus, this brief moment shows our KGB agent hacking into, or powering up, a robot to distract his flying plant foes. Nifty. Here he is. Hello, Bob. Bob does not like these plant parasites either, as this exceedingly short clip shows, though you might have hacked into him to be your friend or something. That's it. I just wanted to introduce him. On to the next point. Our KGB agent isn't like other people. In case the hand implant wasn't enough of a clue that he's been enhanced somehow. Yet another thing he can do is see these orange beads of light, or nanobots or something, through walls when he enters what looks like a scanning mode. Tracking enemies is the main purpose of this ability from what I can tell so far, so you could be able to use it to sneak around enemies or track them from afar while you set up an area for a fight. Having said that, although we know there are ranged and melee weapons, in regards to preparing areas for fights, I'm not sure whether there are traps and bombs etc. in Atomic Heart. Guess we just have to wait and see. If you're not sure whether you want a bat or remote-controlled sharp-as-nails gears, boy do I have the weapon for you. Whatever the hell this is. Mighty effective against both flying enemies and bosses, it actually has a secondary function. Activate this secondary function by removing the chains and the saw blades, or whatever they are, come off of the bat and attack your foe remotely, so you can keep that pretty little skin of yours intact. It's recharged using your hand implant. If this melee weapon has a secondary function, there's a good chance other weapons will have an alternate form too. QuickTime events are a part of some fights you'll have in Atomic Heart, and they kick in when things get especially dicey. Polius, the mini-boss I talked about earlier, has a QuickTime event when it gets those tendrils a bit too close for comfort. So far, it's only during fights that these button prompts appear, and even then, only when you've let the mini-boss get too close. So just practice those quick finger moves if you want to stay as far away as possible from those red nerve tendrils. Do me a favour and don't take that out of context. In a previous trailer, or teaser, whatever you want to call it, we get a closer look at the KGB agent you'll be playing as. Whoever he is, he does not like taking drugs and he doesn't sleep well either. No wonder if you're facing horrors like this. Not entirely sure whether this mysterious figure is Craz, your potential handler, or some doctor, but whoever they are, they're very interested in your well-being. So would I, to be honest, if you're implanted with technology that lets you do this. It's already clear that your agent has been poked and prodded around by doctors, so perhaps there are even more cybernetic implants you can play with in the rest of Atomic Heart. At first, when I saw this clear, water-like substance that was home to fish and corpses alike, I thought it was, well, water that had become sentient and escaped. They're doing so much experimentation in the lab that honestly it would not surprise me if they were experimenting on water too, especially as they created this and this, and this. But there's this very brief clip in some of the Atomic Heart gameplay footage that shows our agent using it to move around. So perhaps it's some kind of travel system that will help you get around the facility quickly. I wouldn't trust it though, considering what it did to these poor folks. Maybe at a point in the game you can summon it and use it to get around obstacles, because in this scene here, our agent seems pretty comfortable toying with it. As far as the story of Atomic Heart goes, here's what we know. You're a Soviet special duty KGB officer who was sent to clean up Facility 3826 during a massive robot control system malfunction. The rollout of a Universal Polymer vaccination is about to commence, according to this announcement.
Торжественное мероприятие пройдет на Красной площади в воскресенье 12 июня за день до всеобщей полимеризации, который также объявлен праздничным.
And the collective neural network is a go-to. During the upcoming May Day parade, a retinue of robots is going to, well, parade down the streets, replacing military machinery. Sounds like the powers that be are pretty dependent on robots, and if there's been a huge malfunction at this facility, it doesn't exactly bode well, does it? And I don't know about you, but a Universal Polymer vaccine going wrong sounds almost as worrying as a collective neural network. Is there some kind of new disease the government was trying to get ahead of? Or are they trying to prepare their citizens for becoming part of the neural network? Bypassing the disease theory because it sounds distressingly familiar, and please don't get me started on 2020, the neural network sounds to me like a kind of collective consciousness that people can tap into, which can't go wrong in any way, right? In this scene with the Doctor and the agent, the Doctor confirms any wariness you might have about the world of Atomic Heart by going on about using the darkness to see how people really behave, which gives me bad vibes. Those vibes aside, I'm guessing that a main theme of Atomic Heart is probably going to be uncovering all the dodgy shit that goes on behind the scenes. Like, why exactly these robots malfunctioned. Somehow I doubt it's as innocent as someone not explaining their accidentally messed up code to a rubber duck before implementing it. And finally, the very last thing you need to know about Atomic Heart is that according to Richard Gray, who is one of the people working on the game, it's got a seamless level loading system. There's a fluid transition from one level to another, according to him, so you won't be facing any loading screens during your time in the natural landscape of the Soviet Union, or in the above-ground labs, or the secret labs, which is what we all really want to see, right? There we go, 12 new things you need to know about Atomic Heart. If you liked the video, thanks very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe, as we here at Eurogamer have a new video out every single day. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go say thank you to my Roomba so it doesn't rise up and kill me, so I'll see you next time.